Okay, year 7 and year 8, you guys are both doing a assignment where you're changing something. You're either changing your type of plane or you're changing your exercise, and you're measuring distance that the plane flies or the heart rate from those exercises. So what I want to do is show you how to do your graph in Google Docs, since you're probably going to finish this all on the computer. So this is a really good skill, learning how to do graphs in documents. So I've just done a bit of typing to begin with. I'm going to use some results that I've made up. They're not real results. And I'm going to use them just to show you what you do with your numbers. So firstly, you conduct your experiment and you get your results. So I've just done a results table down the bottom here. And in my result, I always like making the headings here bold. And in my table, you can see I have I'll make it bigger too. I have my trials or my tries, my attempts at doing it. So I didn't just throw it once and measure that. Did it a few times. And you notice, same with your heart rate, it won't be the same each time because these can be varied by different stuff. You may even notice if you don't relax enough in between your exercises, you're going to have a higher heart rate because it kind of keeps adding on. With your paper planes, this is probably a variance due to the fact you threw it maybe slightly more than another. You might have pulled your arm back more. It is hard to kind of keep that consistent. So this is why we do averages, to get the variations and kind of even it all out. Now, I'm just going to highlight my table here, and this is an extra little skill, is all of these are arranged on the right-hand side, left-hand side of the cell, and I want it in the middle. So if I go up to this align and I click center align, oh, that looks nice. Okay, so there's my table. Here are my made up results. This one needs to be that. Now think about what skills you have or what things you have to measure meters, or to measure distance in this case, for the paper planes. And if you think about it, most homes should have things. So think about hardware, or think about if you have your phone, a smartphone, what technology you have there. Even just talk to your parents and go, hey, what do we have for measuring distance? If at all you have nothing, think about another way of measuring how far away it is from the starting line. It doesn't have to be in meters if you really can't measure that. Okay, it's hard because we're all in lockdown now. So these are my first trials. I'm going to do airplane A. Now, because they're all different numbers, we want to find a number that's kind of in the middle of all of them, and that's the one we want to take from our experiment. So I'm going to show you here how to do an average. So we do averages, and an average is the sum of your results, so adding up the numbers, divided by the number of trials or attempts or things that we did, okay? So you can actually think of it tries, or trials, or attempts. They're just other words for the same thing. That's all those words are. So how many tries, how many times you do it. So your average is your sum of the trials divided by number. And notice that I've got these parentheses here, just here on the side, one curve in front of sum, one curve after trials. This tells my calculator that when I put those numbers in, I need that to be calculated before my division of the number of trials. So I'll just quickly show you what that means. I know some people will go like, hey, I get this, you can skip ahead. But for those who sometimes find maths a bit tricky, this is for you. So it says the 4 trial results for Tanya's experiment showed that plane A flew 10.2 metres, 11.6 metres, 9.6 metres, and 12.1 metres. Okay, so she's got 4 trial results. Okay, and you have each of those. So in her calculator, she should type parenthesis 10.2 plus 11.6 plus 9.6 plus 12.1, close the parentheses, divide by 4. That means that this sum happens first, and then you can divide by 4. Okay, that's just one way. You could also put those in, push equals, and then divide by 4. I'm just making sure you realize to do that first. So her answer came to 10.875, but since all these are one decimal place, she rounded it to 10.9. I'm going to write that down in her table, 10.9. Okay. If she had done it wrong, okay, that's the right way, down here is the wrong way. If she typed in her calculator 10.2 plus 11.6 plus 9.6 plus 12.1 divided by 4, it would be wrong. It would come up as 34.425 meters, which is not in the middle of these numbers, okay? So that's why it's wrong. It's actually, the calculator doesn't know, but it's done 12.1 divided by 4 because that's what you told it to do, and it does that first. So key point, parentheses, really important in math. So it just tells the calculator what to do. It doesn't know what you're doing unless you tell it. Okay, so next thing, this is about putting the graph in. And I needed to go through how to do this before I put the graph in because you need your data done first. What we're going to do is go up to the option at the top bar here, Insert. And we can say Image, Table, Drawing, Chart. Chart is the word for graph in America in these, so you'll find it in Microsoft Word as well. So chart is what we're going to insert, and you can see we can do a bar, column, line, or pie. Your assignment said to do column, so pick column. Now, it doesn't know my information, so it's put in random information that it's made up. And you'll notice that's not what we want. So we're now going to click and go and edit it. So when I select it, options come up. Up here, it says Link Chart Options. Click the down button and notice Open Source. It's going to now open the document where that data is, and we can change it. So this is the table they're using. We don't want that. So we are going to highlight it, and I'm pushing delete. Okay, now I don't have it. So highlighting is click click and keep holding down the click and then drag. That's how you select in Google Sheets. Now the easiest way to do this is to literally just copy my table here and then paste it in here, B. Okay, so now we have our information. I need to do 2 more averages, so I'm going to show you a quick shortcut, how to do a function. So what I need to put in here, and the difference between doing this in a calculator and doing it here, is you're actually telling that box there, which we call a cell, we're telling it how to do the calculation. And for it to know it's a calculation versus a word, we put an equal sign first. So I type in equals, then I'm going to type in, I want to do an average. I don't spell it right. Average, here we go. We can even just pick on it. Double click, and it says, I'm going to just minimize that. And see, it has the parentheses. It wants to know what I'm averaging. Well, I'm averaging these things. So I just clicked on the first box and kept my finger down and dragged it across. There we go. And so now it says the information in these cells. So do that, close. All right, and if I push enter, my calculation comes up. The autofill, this recognizes if I did that calculation here, I probably want to do the same in the one underneath. So hey, let's do that. So I've already calculated it and I only had to do it once. That's pretty cool. Makes things easy. This is meant to make things easy. So all you need to know is how to use it. Okay. All right. So my averages are here. I don't want to graph my trials, only my average against each aeroplane to make this graph. I'm going to actually delete this graph. It's a bit easier to do it that way. And I'm going to insert a chart, and then I'll bring up my options. Now, it has already put stuff in and I don't think it needs it. So I'm going to go column chart, data range. So this is where you tell it which numbers to use. So I'm going to delete that, and then I can click on this and just drag it to the side, click on that, drag it to the side. Oh, because I had those two highlighted, that's why. Okay, now I see why it did that. So my data range is going to be this. So I've clicked on the A, it dragged down. And to select something completely separate over here, hold down the Control key. And we'll click, and I want those ones. So now it knows that information should go together. Excellent. It's done that. And now I need to tell some bits of information here. I need to add my x-axis. So you'll notice down here, if I click on that, it already recognizes I've put information in, and it says TT, which is text, A3 to A5, or 1, 2, 3, F3 to F5. Now, if I pick this one, it'll put the numbers underneath, but I actually want the label of the planes. So I click on that, and now it says A, B, C, those are my planes. So I've already now shown you how to add in the right data range, and then how to put the x-axis information in. Don't need to use all this stuff. There's our series. Keep going down. Now, that's all the main bit. There's no more there, but there's another tab up the top here that says Customize. You'll notice my graph doesn't have a title, doesn't have X and Y axis labels, so that's the next thing we need to do. So Customize, and you'll see all these things we can change. So let's start with the biggest important one, chart and access titles. So for our chart title, okay, we need to, and so here is where you change horizontal axis, vertical, and our chart title. And our chart title should be something like distance, and I'll put, I think, M, each plane flew on average. I'm just telling them what that information is on. Oops, I'm missing this bit here. There we go. So that, remember, M in those parentheses is the units. Now I'm going to just copy this because I'm going to use it in a minute. Title font, I can change the color. I don't need any more. So that's done. You can see it on the side on my graph. Now we want to do the horizontal axis. No, we'll do vertical because I just copied that. Okay, these numbers are the distance in meters that the plane flew. Okay, oh, I can change the font size. Let's do, I want it to be 12. Okay, so that should make it, if I go 12, enter, does that make it bigger? You can also actually just double click here. That seriously doesn't look very big. Let's make it like 14, just so it stands out a bit more. 18, nope. Why did it not do that? Ah, there we go. Now it changed over there. So that's size 18. And now, whoops, just click back on my graph. 3 dots in the corner. This is your options. Edit chart. That's where I was. Customize. Chart and axis titles. I still need to do the horizontal axis title. We need to tell people what A, B, and C mean. So we're going to write in type of paper plane. or actually model of paper plane.